bushes. Then the work gloves and headlamps come out of our backpacks. Peering into the darkness that surrounds us, I seek signs of others out roaming the night, but we're alone. So I click on my headlamp in red light mode and pull aside the thorny vines that hide our tunnel through the thicket. Mark crawls in first. I follow behind. The bushes have grown since we last cut them back, and for the final several feet of the tunnel, on the other side of the hole in the chain-link fence, we're wriggling forward on our elbows and bellies. Think maybe we should trim again? I clamber to my feet on the other side. We've only got a couple trips left, Mark reminds me. We're standing in the corner of a large field, its soggy expanse arrayed with a grid of shipping containers listing in the mud. Hull Secure Facilities, or as we call it, the Lost and Found. Mark shucks his backpack to the ground in front of the nearest shipping container. Kneeling next to him, I knit my fingers together and boost him onto the top. After I've passed up both backpacks, I grasp his hands and launch myself upward, and he heaves me onto the container beside him. The first thing I do is check for our 2x4s, right here where we left them. Then I follow Mark's gaze to the cottage on the hill at the far end of the Lost and Found. A light glows in one window. Jerry's up late, I say, glancing at my watch. A black rubber Casio I found among Dad's things after his murder. 10 minutes to midnight. Mark narrows his eyes at the cottage. The window flickers. Dimmer, brighter, yellow, blue. Watching TV, Mark concludes. Rain might clear up by 4. I say we move. June on the 47th parallel north. The sun lingering in the sky until 9, rising again at 5. Seattle averages 8 nights of rain in June. July only gets 6. The window for our visits to the Lost and Found is closing. I pick up one of the 2x4s and lay it across the gap to the next container over, and Mark places the second board parallel to the first. We cross this makeshift bridge one at a time, moving our feet in short, wide steps like inept roller skaters. Then we move the boards and cross the next gap, working our way toward the only 4 containers that we haven't searched yet, the ones closest to Jerry Hull's cottage. A single footstep on the paths among the containers could result in a felony burglary charge or a spray of buckshot in the back. It would trip the network of seismic sensors buried beneath the ground, and that would trigger an alarm on Jerry's phone that would send him scuttling to his gun cabinet. But the vibrations caused by our steps on top of the containers, dampened by the seismic static of the rainfall, aren't strong enough to trip the sensors. And there are dead spots in the network, including the far corner by the blackberry thicket. All this from Mark. He knows all about the ground sensors. He installed them. It takes us about half an hour to reach the first untouched container, the one labeled Bin 4 on Mark's hand-drawn map back at the office. Now we're within 100 feet of Jerry's. The light has migrated from the front of the cottage to the rear. That his bedroom? I ask. Mark shakes his head. Bathroom. Brushing his teeth, I suppose. Impressive hygiene for a parasite. Well, he doesn't floss. I smirk at Mark. You searched his cabinets? I don't know about searched. His tone is defensive. I wasn't fiending for Vicodin. You don't peek behind the mirror when you use someone's John? The question gives me pause. Do I? Would I? Nobody's invited me into their house since I arrived in Seattle 16 months ago. And before that, well, I was a different person before that. I had a home and a future back then. I had a name. Mark's gaze shifts from my face to the darkness behind me. He puts his hands on his hips, sticks out his chin, and says, "Huh." I turn around and see what he's staring at. A rectangular pool in the mud, 20 feet long and 8 feet wide, where Bin 1 used to be. I say, "Oh." We peer at the absence of Bin 1 for a long moment. Conjectures float through my head with all the dependability of helium balloons. Meanwhile, the rain thickens. Maybe we should get the hell out of here, I say. We'll make tonight our last. Mark glances back at the cottage, all dark now. He opens his backpack, pulls out his climbing harness and the rope. You sure about that, boss? I say. Mark nods.